What's up, Pokemon fanatics? My name is Hydros, and welcome to my Save R4i Dongle tutorial for genning Pokemon from White2, White, Black2 into Pokemon Y using PokeBank and PokeTransporter. So, what you're going to need first is this Save for R4i Dongle, which you can see on my screen. I have the website up where I purchased mine right here. It's nds-card.com. I got it for $19. The price of it is $17.99. I went for the $2 extra to get a tracking number. You don't have to, but I went ahead and sprung for the extra $2 just the tracking number so I know where it's at. It arrived in about maybe 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks maybe. It does come from China, and but they did have pretty decent customer service when I had an issue with the tracking number. Again, it was pretty quick, pretty easy to deal with. I recommend this site. I don't think they were bad at all with it. I mean, it was all intact, it works beautifully, and I have no problems with it. So what the R4i dongle does is let you back up game saves, edit them, and then re-upload them back into the cartridge. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using White just for this tutorial, but you can use White 2 or Black 2 or Black if you want to, but I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to be using White, and then I'm going to have Pokemon Y right here. So let's go ahead and plug this right on in. And before we plug this into the computer, let's just go ahead and go back here, and this is where you're going to download all of the stuff that you're going to need to use on your computer. So what we're going to need to go to is r4i-sdhc.com/savedongle.asp. Before we go any further, again, all the download links and everything that I go to on the web browsers, everything is down in the description, guys. So you can go ahead and click, and you're ready to go. Just download them right from there. But as of now, this is where I'm just going to show you guys where it's at. Again, links are in the description for future reference. But what you want to go ahead and do is just go here and just scroll down to drivers. Download the drivers because you're going to need it to obviously run the program on Windows. Then you're going to need your save dongle, backup, restore. Just download that. All it does is backup and restore a game save when you need to use it. The firmware uploader, which you're going to need to update the firmware, and the firmware is right here. Just go scroll right down and download version 1.5. and then just go ahead and download it, and then I'm going to show you guys quickly how to do that as well. Then you're going to need the 3D save tool, which is basically the program that you're going to be running to save the file from the cartridge to your PC and then re-upload it back to the cartridge. So download that, download the firmware uploader. You really don't need the save dongle, backup, restore, but I recommend just downloading it just in case, and then download and install the drivers. Pretty self-explanatory. All you do is download it, extract it. You're going to need WinRAR, obviously, because they're all RAR files, but just download the RAR file, and then download WinRAR if you don't have WinRAR, and then extract it, install them. You're all good to go. Really simple, really easy. Just install it. You're good to go. And for the firmware, I'll get to that in a moment. And then you're gonna need PokeGen. You're gonna need PokeGen to obviously put Pokemon into the save file that we're gonna be saving to the PC. So I already have everything downloaded. I already have everything running. So let's go ahead and open up PokeGen, which PokeGen is running right here. You can download this one. Obviously, the more current version of PokeGen will be in the description for you guys, so it doesn't matter which version of PokeGen you have. It does say 3.0 right here, but I have the newest version in the description for you guys to download as well. So, and I also have each download link to these in the description, so you don't actually have to go and scroll through. You can just look and see what you need and just download it. So everything that I use, obviously the download links, all I'm going to do is right click and copy the download link for you guys. But what you're going to need is go ahead and open up PokeGen, and then open up your save dongle program, which this is what it looks like. And before we get into that, let's go ahead and do this save dongle stuff for updating the firmware. So what you're going to want to do is, when you do that, as you guys can still see, I'm running the camera just so you guys can see it, and then that way you can know what I'm doing. So when you do the firmware uploader, make sure that this program isn't running. So we're just going to get rid of that for a second. And then what you're going to want to do is, once you have the firmware downloaded, which is a bin file, you're going to want to plug this into your USB, and then just press and hold this upgrade button for just a few seconds, and then just release it, and it'll be entering the program mode. Then you want to do is just click open bin file, find the firmware, and then just click program. That's all you need to do. It's quick and easy, nothing to it, and then your firmware is uploaded. Just unplug it, plug it back in, you're good to go, and then just open up this program, and then you're good. So let's go ahead and plug this in the computer. I'm just going to take my camera with me to show you guys that I'm putting it into the computer, and let's just go ahead and plug it right on in. make sure you don't plug this into a hub. Make sure it's into the back USB port on your computer. And now that we've got it into the PC, like I showed you guys right there, make sure it's not in a USB hub, like I said, or in a front USB port. And now my camera's going to go off. Since we don't need that, we need just the computer screen. We don't need to be showing the camera footage anymore. And as you can see on the screen, the game save file is 512 kilobytes, and then you got the game info Pokemon White. Now, to save it to your PC, you're going to go card to PC, and then we're just going to name it tutorial. You can name it whatever you want. Sometimes White2 has an issue with it naming White2, so be aware of that. It has issues with the names of like the actual game. So just name it, if you name it White, just name it like White Gen or like White 1 or something, just something like that. I'm just going to name mine tutorial for this tutorial purpose right here. So we're going to save it to the desktop and just click save. Then as you can see, it is right here, the tutorial.sav file, and then it's just going to pretty much extract it from the cartridge and put it onto your PC. And then we're going to need PokeGen. So while all that stuff is running and saving it to the PC, I'm going to show you guys what you're going to need to do to basically get Pokemon. So if you want Pokemon, all you really want to do, if you want to do it in PokeGen yourself, you know like everything that there is to know about PokeGen, then go for it. Do whatever you want in PokeGen, but I'm going to show you guys the easiest way that I found to do it myself, and this link is also in the description. It's called PokeEdit.com, and I went to PokeEdit.com and went to Downloads and Pokemon Database, which brings you to this page here, and then you can select your game. Now, since I'm using white, it doesn't matter if you select white or black. I'm just going to leave it on black because it really doesn't matter. But I am using white just for this. I would just click white and it would just do that. So I'm just going to leave it on white, and then what we want to do is just basically choose a Pokemon. And this is the simplest and easiest process if you want to do complete movesets, EVs, IVs, and all that kind of stuff, like using Smogon movesets and stuff like that. This is easier to do than actually just figuring out everything on PokeGen, because PokeGen, if you mess up, you have to go completely do that stuff again, and it's just a hassle. This right here, it'll actually give you legal and illegal, like if something's illegal, if something's not legal. So let's just go to Totodile. We're just going to go ahead and click download Totodile. You can download what they have, which is a custom Totodile. You can see all the stats here and everything like that. It's IVs, it's EVs, it's moveset, it's level, gender, held item. Now be aware, since this is going to be using PokeTransporter and PokeBank, it will not transfer items from white to black or black to. Remember that. So just be aware. You don't need to put held items on it. Now, and then it tells you Pokeball, all that kind of stuff. It tells you all the information about the Pokemon. Now, if you want to edit your Pokemon, just click Edit Your Totodile, and it will bring you to an editor here online. And as you can see, there's Totodile. You can give it a nickname. Let's just name it Hydros. Let's make it level 1. Let's make it shiny. Make it a male, actually. Give it an ability. You can actually make it. You can actually look at legal abilities, and you can give it its Dream World ability if you really wanted to. It is perfectly legal to do that, and it will transport over just fine. I'm just gonna leave it on torrent. You can give it Pokerus. Let's infect it. You can give it its IV markings, which the IV markings actually do show up in X and Y. Just FYI. And then you can give it some movesets, and you can click all of those. Make sure those are checked. If you don't have them checked, you can't actually change the moves. But for movesets on here, you can have any move. You can look at any of the moves that you want. I mean, if you know what a Pokemon can or can't have, then that's good for you. But if you don't know, you can click legal, and then it'll give you all the legal moves for that specific Pokemon. You can sort them by all, TM, Egg, Tutor, and Level. Let's just go by Egg. Let's just do some Egg move Totodiles here. So Hydro Pump is one of them. Ancient Power is one of them. Ice Punch, and let's see, what else do we want on this Totodile? Dragon Dance, let's go ahead and give it a Dragon Dance. And do we want Aqua Jet, Dragon Dance, Fake Tears, Ice Punch, Metal Claw, Water Pulse, or Water Sport? Well, let's just give it Ancient Power. Let's give it Ancient Power. Then you can mess with its stats. I'm going to give this one a Jolly Nature, and then you can either have 510 total or 255 per field. I recommend using 255 per field, because then you can do this. You can just go ahead and give it the 252. 0, 0, 0, and then I'm gonna give it 252 in speed, and then let's give it 4 defense, and that will be it. That's your nature. That's your EVs. Just to be aware, make sure you're at least 508. Make sure you're at least 508. 510. Sometimes it will push through. Sometimes it won't go through, and it can be a hassle. So I recommend just staying at 508. Make sure that it just adds up to 508. That is the standard EVs anyway. So just make sure you're at 508. And then you can edit the contest. I'm not going to mess with the contest. You can edit the memo, the OT, which I'm not going to mess with the OT either. You can do the ribbons. You can look at everything, basic. When you're done, just click Apply Edits. And then it's just going to, do all that, this and that. While that's doing that, what you want to do is go back to PokeGen and remember that save file that we, kind of got from the game? Yeah, when we did card to PC, that save file, that tutorial.sav. Well, what you're going to want to do is go to File, Open, and then open up that save file. So, again, File, Open. Look for your save file. Mine was tutorial.save. Just click Open, and then it opens up the save file. As you guys can see, I have a Tranquil, all Super Luck, Met, Dragon's Power Time, Quick Balls, blah, 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 stats, attacks, OT, John, Generate Shiny ID, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so now that we have Totodile, we're going to go ahead and download the Pokemon. Just download it, and then it will download. And so we'll find it, and then we're just going to drag and drop it into PokeGen. That's really all there is to it. So here's Totodile, the Pokemon, and then, we can view data. There's Totodile, the Hydros Totodile, White2, Met, stats. There's the stats that we gave it. There's its Met. There's the attacks that we gave it. There's the OT Ash, Generate Shiny ID, and all that kind of stuff. Now we can just, let's just set like 5 of them in here. Let's just give 5 of them in here and do all that stuff. And obviously I have other Pokemon that I've been genning and all that stuff. I have a lot of other Pokemon files. Let's see, let's just do Garchomp, Conkeldurr, just to show you guys that it will transfer to Altaria, sure, why not? Salamence, why not? Sableye, why not? Let's just do that. And then for the final one, let's just use a Feraligatr. Let's just use Feraligatr. Why not? Alright, so what you want to do is after you do all of that, once you have all the Pokemon that you want to gen into your save file, obviously click File and then Save. I just do it a couple times just to make sure that it saves it properly. Just save, save. Okay, that's good. Anyway, now you can just go ahead and close that. We don't need that anymore. We can go ahead and just do this. We can go PC to card and then go to your save file and click Open. And then it will begin putting over the Pokemon save file into your cartridge again, just rewriting the save file, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Just let that go, and then you'll see it's going to slowly kind of teeter off into that. I'm going to go ahead and open up my capture card for you guys, and as you guys can see, I got a capture card. Obviously, I got a capture card because I do videos with it, but we're going to need it. Obviously, you're going to need PokeBank and PokeTransporter, because to get Pokemon from White2, Black, and Black2, you're going to need PokeTransporter to even just get it into PokeBank, and then you're going to need PokeBank to put it into X and Y. So I do have my Y copy right here, ready to go once we get this nice and gentle firm save file uploaded into the cartridge. And then, obviously, again, all these links for the Pokemon editor, for Pokemon database, you can actually get event Pokemon. Some event Pokemon, be aware of, will not work. Some of them you may have to mess around with. But a lot of the event Pokemon that have went on, they're all right here, ready to go. All you have to do is just go download them and put them into your PokeGen, and then you're ready to go. That's really all there is to it. So, obviously, they have event Pokemon. If you're really looking for some event Pokemon to get away with and get on there, they're even available. You can trade them online. You can battle with them online. All these Pokemon are going to be legit looking enough to where it'll battle online and where you can actually do whatever you want online with them. So they're legit. They have to be legit looking enough to be able to pass through PokeBank and to pass through the PokeTransporter. And that thing is just about done. Again, so PokeEdit will be in the description. The Save Dongle stuff, all that links for all the downloads and stuff will be in the description as well. And then the page for where you can purchase the R4i Save Dongle yourself will be in the description. I forgot to mention, you can buy a microSD card. You don't really need to. I didn't. I have tons of microSD cards, but you don't really need to buy one. You have sense in buying one anyway. So anyway, let's just go and close that. And then you'll see this nice little message, write game down at PC to card successful. So we're going to go ahead and just unplug the White2 cartridge from my little dongle. And when it's unplugged, you guys can see, obviously, nothing's there. And then you can see white version right there. We're going to go ahead into PokeTransporter, go ahead and go to Open. Now, for PokeTransporter to work, if you're unfamiliar with it, it transfers box 1 only. So make sure you put your Pokemon in box 1. As you guys saw, that is what I did on PokeGen. It was in box 1 already. It opens up defaultly in box 1. So make sure that you always put them in box 1. Otherwise, it won't. If you go straight to PokeTransporter, it won't transfer anything from box 2 and up to 31, I believe. I believe it was 31 boxes in Pokemon White from the 5th gen. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But yeah. So if you get anything wrong with it, please note that your bag is full. At least one Pokemon could not be sent. Let's see what Pokemon couldn't be sent. I believe I know what it was. It was the Altaria. Again, that was the error message that you get if something was wrong with it. Let's just go ahead and open up PokeEdit just to show you guys what was wrong with that file of Altaria. Just to show you guys, this was kind of my error here. View data. This is the Altaria data right here. Stats. 593 EV total. That is illegal. That is illegal. That is not right. And as you can see, 85 HP. That should have been 0. And then I can just go ahead and set that back. And then you have to go through the entire process. Just file, save, and then just, you know, uploading it back to the card and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to bother with that, though. Obviously, everything else is there. All the Totodiles, the Garchomp, the Conkeldurr, Salamence, Sableye, Feraligatr, they're all there. The Altaria, as you guys can saw, though, it was wrong. I just kind of wanted to put that in there just to show you guys that, hey, if there's anything illegal on the Pokemon, it will not transfer through. So let's go ahead and transfer the box right on through. It'll save it to the PokeBank. It'll put them right onto that beautiful, beautiful PokeBank. And now that we're done with the R4i Save Dongle stuff, we don't actually need that, and I don't want that. Just close it. And then we can go ahead and just full screen this and show you guys the beauty of these PokeGen Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y. So this is done with Poke Transporter. You can just go ahead and exit that right on into PokeBank. And once now that we're done with Pokemon White, you can take out White and put Pokemon Y or X right on into your game system. Make sure that you do this before you hit start, because if you don't have Pokemon X or Y in there before it does this thing, then, you know, it won't work. Obviously, you're going to need to put the game in first. But you guys should know that, obviously. PokeBank, use PokeBank, of course, use this game. This is just a quick and easy process. This is only almost 17 minutes long now. I spent most of the video explaining. I wanted to get everything out of the way. Just to, you know, just to reiterate everything, just to kind of do everything. There's the transport box, the Hydros Totodiles that we made, the Garchomp, all of them. They're right here, obviously. They're all right here, and I messed up trying to do that. There we go. We can go ahead and do that. We're just gonna put them into which box do we want to put them in? Which box? What box? What box? What box? Let's just put them in this box right here. They're in giveaway 2, so click X, save. We want to save them into the X and Y game. And then we're just going to go ahead and pop on into X and Y and just show you guys, hey, they're there. And I'm going to show you guys that they're legit enough to where they'll Wonder Trade, because if the Pokemon isn't legit, it will not Wonder Trade off. Obviously, if it's not legit, it won't even transfer. But I'm just going to show you guys, hey, it does work. It does work very well. You can gen Pokemon. This is how a lot of the YouTubers gen their battle-ready Pokemon if they don't want to put the time into actually, you know, training them. I used to do my training, and then I got this because it was quicker. Once I started doing YouTube videos, I just wanted to get that out there and get those videos done, and that way I don't have to spend so much time doing teams. Obviously, if you guys understand, thank you so much. If you call me a cheater, hacker, whatever, I really don't care. So I'm just gonna go ahead and connect to the internet anyway, really quick, just to show you guys, hey, they'll go out into the Wonder Trade. They'll obviously go out into the Wonder Trade. I wouldn't do this tutorial if it didn't work. if this didn't work, I obviously would not even bother doing the tutorial. I would have to, like, go through everything just to be able to fix it and be able to know, hey, why is this not working online? So, okay, we're going to go ahead and go into the Wonder Trade. Yes, we want to go into we just want to save. We always want to save just when we got into the game. Yes, we want to Wonder Trade. And then we were in giveaway 2, was that right? Giveaway 2. There is the Hydros Totodile that we genned. It's shiny. All the IVs are there. And then we got the moves that we put: Ice Punch, Dragon Dance, Ancient Power, Hydro Pump, the Jolly, the Torrent, and then it's going to be EV trained. You guys can't see that. I had to go into the, you know, the super training thing to show you guys that. But just to do that, and there's the Hydros Feraligatr. There's all the Pokemon that we genned. Well, let's just go ahead and trade off this one. Since I genned this one for you guys, we're going to go ahead and trade off this one. Show you guys that, hey, it will go out into the Wonder Trade system. It's perfectly legal, perfectly ready to be used in Pokemon X and Y, offline and online. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like on this video in the comments down below. Let me know if you had trouble with anything. Some of the events may give you trouble if you have questions about PokeGen, stats, moves, all that kind of stuff. I just recommend using PokeEdit. It's a lot easier than going through everything on PokeGen, just because you can easily do it on an easier interface than it is on PokeGen. It's a lot more simple and a lot more easier to understand if you don't know what you're doing right off the bat. So I recommend using PokeEdit right there. And we get a Skorupi for my Totodile there. So obviously they work online, perfectly ready to go, works 100%, guys. And I don't know if this will ever be patched. I don't know if it will. I doubt it will ever be patched because, hey, people that have Pokemon White and White2 obviously want to transfer their Pokemon to X and Y, so I don't think this will be patched at all anytime soon. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave a comment down below, and I'll answer it as best as I can for you guys. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.